Okay, I am back for round two. I don't know if I'm gonna break this into short videos or just put it together for one long video, but in case I break it up, this is Megan with Art Garden Oracle. Thank you for being here. I started yesterday this inspired video from cleaning out my tarot deck spaces and reorganizing everything. I had a number of tarot decks that I really wanted to use more. Nothing I wanted to declutter, but just things I wanted to use a lot more. And so because I'm having so much fun with, I'm gonna start getting decks out. Because I'm having so much fun with pairing Oracle and Tarot together. It's not something I've done historically, but kind of a new thing that I'm enjoying. I was like, if I find pairs for some of these tarot decks that I want to use more, maybe I will use them more. So that happened, 2 days ago now. So there were just a number of solutions to decks that I found a pair for that were really challenging for me, and I wanted to share them. So I shared some of them yesterday. There's more today. Some of these I like saw them and I was like, yes, these go together, but I didn't actually take them out of the box. So some of these might be like a miss as I go through them. This is the Playful Heart Tarot. In my last video, the mid-year tarot tag, I was being a big whiny baby about how long it was taking to come out, and it was like a week later she had the decks back in stock. So my whiny baby wish was granted. So Kitten Chops, she still has them, and she has a really adorable looking Pipsqueak Marseille tarot coming out, which I'm excited for. It's probably, I am just like done with my budget for the year, so I probably won't be able to get first round, but this is a little oracle I've talked about in another video. I found it on Etsy, Inner Child Love Oracle Cards by Susana Tavares. I think she's from Portugal. I think they came from Portugal or something like that. And it was something that just kind of had that like little kid inner child vibe that I was looking for in the Playful Heart Tarot, and was just trying to like scratch an itch. You know, it's certainly not Playful Heart Tarot. I'm not trying to pretend. These are the backs. But it's precious. It's, the quality isn't like super high quality cardstock, but it's precious. It's like totally does a great job with inner child work. They work very well together. I've used them together already quite a bit. And they like each other a lot. And I've already used this quite a bit with my kids. That's kind of, I use this for inner child work, but my kids also just kind of sit down and hang out with me all the time when I'm doing this and have a lot of curiosity around tarot. So these are ones that are fun to work with them because there's nothing too difficult or scary or anything like that. Some of my fan decks, I don't have many, but some of those are inspired by my children too. So I have an Adventure Time fan deck that I love to death, and they do too. They'll just like be watching the show and be like, Mom, can I have the Adventure Time tarot deck? And they'll just like look at the cards while they're watching the show. I have a Lord of the Rings, which that's just like my own personal thing. Although my kids do like Lord of the Rings. And the mass market one for that. And then what was my other fan? Oh, Harry Potter. Which, to my great disappointment, I have not been able to brainwash my kids into liking yet, but I haven't given up. Yeah, these work great too, like positive mindset and the devil card. The way you think matters. They just go really well, and it's kind of got a darker color palette. It works. The Playful Heart Tarot, if you don't have it, she has a few just kind of message cards, or I don't know what you would call them. This is one of them that aren't part of the major and minor arcana, obviously. Yeah, but this is, I really like these together, and this art is precious. I actually have, like, the more I work with it, the more I love this oracle deck. And again, it is very, very low cardstock. I don't, you know, I'm not like mad at the creator. It was a pretty decent price point. I edged it. It did not come that way. But it's one of those things, I've said this before, but I don't even care if I love the tarot or oracle deck. I'll be careful with it. This is just one that you kind of have to be careful with. Same with that Abaton keys that I showed yesterday, that I got directly from the creator. It's just like, I've barely shuffled it. Sorry, I just got close to the mic. I've barely shuffled it, and it's just starting to show its signs. This is not the edged or gilded. I think she had a rainbow gild last time. And I think she said, I might be totally lying about this, but I think she said she kind of went back to a more eco-friendly company and cardstock, which just definitely feels, it has a beautiful, really nice, super slippery feel. But yeah, it feels like it's, I don't know, more eco-friendly. That could just be a total lie. I didn't get the guidebook with this, and I kind of wish I had. And I don't think it's an option to just get the guidebook. I might reach out to her and ask for it, because I can read them so intuitively, and they're not a problem to read without the guidebook. But I just realized afterwards, like, I follow her on Instagram and I really love her work. And I was like, I just would have loved to hear how she wrote the guidebook, and I would have loved to hear her perspective on the cards. And so I'm disappointed I didn't get the guidebook. For what it's worth, if you are on the fence about that, I wish I had gotten the guidebook. So that's one that I knew, like, I knew I would have Playful Heart someday, and I knew I would put those together. This is another one that I mentioned in another book. Oh my God. Another video that is, I can't remember. It might be from the Mid-Year Tarot tag too, but I got these guys. This MiniDivi from Holly Audley. Oh my goodness. I really love her work. It's really simple, really folksy, really cheeky and funny and sweet and cute. But like serious too. Like it's one of those that's like fun, but also can like give you some really good information. So I already mentioned this in that video that I got these. It's a pretty new deck. It's something I knew I was gonna get for a long time, but I just wanted to show these together to kind of explain what I meant in that other video. So this is just two of the MiniDivis for my budgeting purposes. These two together were like 30 bucks, and it's 60 cards. I think she kind of meant for it to be this way, where you could put together whatever ones you wanted or use them independently. I think there's 4 or 5 MiniDivis, and then she has the teeny tiny tarot too. If money were no object, I would have got the whole set. I really like the teeny tiny tarot, but money was an object, so this was a great way to get her work sooner rather than later and just have a little taste of it. So this is the Zombie Tarot, and I mean, everyone knows this tarot. I don't need to say too much about it. It's a mass market deck. With Halloween coming up, I know this deck's going to come out, and I've always loved Holly Audley's work, but the reason I got it and the reason I'm excited for it, there was a really specific purpose. The backs on all the MiniDivis are the same too, by the way, so they go together really well. So this is the, sorry, let me go back. This is the MiniDivi Ghosts edition, and then this is the MiniDivi Opposites edition. So I'm going to make a bag to put them all in. They're all shuffled together, but I store them in the 2 little cartons for now. So yeah, these guys relate to each other, and they can go reversed or not. Anyway, the really specific reason I got this was there's a lot of tarot decks like the Lovers that are really tricky to, like the Lovers. Maybe I should just like do this tomorrow. Anyway, like the Zombie Tarot, that are tough to pair with Oracle decks. There's just like not that many things that would go with like a vintage aesthetic, you know, guts coming out of zombie kind of deck that would make sense or would look any sort of reasonable together. So I definitely didn't have an Oracle deck that went with this. So I feel like the Holly Audley illustrations are also great because they can just pair with a ton of things. I showed a few decks yesterday that are great for just like pairing with a lot of different things. Oh, look at that. Temperance with Healthy and Ill. I don't even have to shuffle these for them to make sense. So yeah, I just love, I love these together. I was hoping they would work really well. I feel like they do. It makes me happy, so I certainly will be using it. But yeah, and I also feel like these, I don't have it yet. I probably will get it this Halloween. The Halloween Tarot, I'll probably get the 10 version. So these will go really well with that. So, you know, totally different art styles, but like 2 decks that probably would be hard to pair with oracles in most people's collection. And I just really like the way they go together. I'm trying to think what else I was picking out. Oh, I have the Shadowlands Tarot, even though I know I have a couple Oracle decks that will go with that one. This works really well with that. There's also like a non-Halloween-y fall deck that I pulled out that was like, oh, these will go well with that one too. I can't remember and of course it's like in the cabinet that's far away and has closed doors. Anyway, so that is Zombie Tarot and Holly Audley's MiniDivi. It's like justice, gentle and rough. Genius. I haven't done pulls with these yet. I am fighting like hell to keep it summer a little bit longer. I am not, like, everyone's talking about fall and being cozy and they're so excited about fall, and I'm like, no, like, summer went way too fast. I am not ready for snow. I'm originally from the south and I live in the inland northwest now, and I have to say, I am not, like, I try so hard to be a lover of snow, and I've gotten a lot better. And like, I ski, I'm not a bad skier for a southerner. But I struggle in the wintertime, and particularly in the Northwest, if you are from here, you know, as opposed to some, like, I live in Colorado, and Colorado has snow, but it also has sunshine in the wintertime. But in the Northwest, if you live on the ocean, on the west side, Oregon, Washington, Northern California, it doesn't snow, it's just gray and rainy. If you live in the inland part of the Northwest, it's snow mostly in the wintertime and gray the entire winter. Very few Sundays in the winter. It's very difficult. And I definitely struggle with seasonal depression stuff. So my light comes out and I get out as much as I can, but man, I am keeping the fall decks at bay as long as I possibly can. And pretending like it's going to be summer for a while. Holly Audley, I didn't mention this before, but she also sent me these sweet cards, just like free. And I only spent $30 on these MiniDivis. And these remind me, I mentioned this yesterday, using the Sovereign Oracle for a spread machine. But Holly Audley makes these little cards that are great for creating spreads too. And I use these like right away and really like them. So that was just a little bonus I'm showing. Oh, okay, this one I'm excited about, but it's one I just like briefly tried, so I'm not sure exactly how awesome it's gonna look. I got Thea's Hellenic Oracle this summer. Freaking love it. It's beautiful. I have not used it as much as I wanted to, or like as I want to, not because it's not awesome. The few times I've used it, it's read amazingly. It's just, I just had a bunch of things I was really excited about, and the whole reason I'm filming this video is because my kids just went back to school and I just had no time this summer to do anything. And my tarot practice, my yoga practice, like everything. It was all I could do to keep up with my garden. And I was exhausted. So that's the main reason I haven't used it. This is quirky. Like, I have, not the golden tarot, but the golden, is that right? I have, is it Cat Black? I have the, oh my god, names are not coming to me. Touchstone Tarot. And I was like, ooh, that'll go well with this. It does look pretty together. I also have the Tarot of Angels or something like that. It's a relatively new mass market. But it's still not like, those are more like the kind of harsh artwork, you know? It's not the romantic kind of era, more artwork. I'm so bad. Like, I'm an artist and I don't know my... These styles I don't do super well with. Anyway, so it just wasn't romantic enough, the decks that I was trying to use with the Hellenic Tarot. And so I was like going through everything and I found this deck. I was like, I wonder if the Klimt Tarot will go well. So this has the gold detailing. It's a Low Scarabeo deck, which I really like Low Scarabeo decks. I like the way they shuffle. I don't know. I just like their quality a lot. And I really like them together. I hope the glare isn't too bad. No, the glare is good. The way my light is angled, it's like right in my eyeballs. I'm sorry. So I'm excited about these. You know, it's definitely a different aesthetic, but it's just got more romance to it, I feel like. Klimt stuff. So Nemesis with Three of Pentacles. Ooh, I would have to think about that one. And I know this is one of the only ones, I think. So this isn't really Nemesis. This is, oh, who are you? Is it Circe? I think so. But I love this, is like one of my favorite paintings ever. So witchy, which makes sense. I'm pretty sure it's Circe. So anyway, these are, I feel like they're beautiful together. I feel like it's going to work great. And it makes me so excited to use the Hellenic Oracle, and same with like the Klimt Tarot, because I find this, like, I think this is one of my most beautiful tarot decks, period. I mean, all of the indies like are beautiful in and of themselves, no questions. But in terms of like mass market decks, for sure, I think this is like my number one or number two most beautiful. I've never pulled that card and I really like it. Looks like Monet's house and Giverny. Anyway, I've wanted to use both of these decks more, and I just never would have thought that I would like them together, but I totally do. So anyway, that's like one of my most exciting pairs that I found. And that same thing, it's a little dark, not that, like, I feel like the Hellenic Pantheon can come out any time of the year. But it is a dark, like a darker, shadowier, you know, shade coloring deck. I feel like the gold here really like brightens these up a lot. But yeah, it just feels like an autumnal pair. So a little bit longer before I work with it, but I'm really excited. I feel like they work really well together. Okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna make this 2 videos because there's nothing I want to leave out. I feel like I'm really excited about all these. I hope it's not super annoying. Okay, this is something new. This was like, I even have a budget for my, like, I have no self-control. And I haven't used it all yet, but I have to be very selective because, yeah, this was out of that budget because I was not supposed to get this. I had no idea it was coming out. It is the most gorgeous. It's up there with that Angels deck that I just got, but I didn't just get that one. But it's a mass market that came out of my impulsive decision. Budget too. Like linen finish. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So this artist, I have been stalking her oracle deck. She has an oracle deck, Olivia Rose, on Etsy called, this is the MindsEye Tarot. I'm pretty sure it's the Heart's Eye oracle deck. I was stalking it. It went out of stock. I think it's back in. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's back in. I'm going to show her picture because she's so awesome. She's a UK artist, and I was stalking her oracle deck on Etsy forever. And there were just too many things for $50 that I wanted. I just couldn't afford it all. And then this came out on Amazon. It just got released. Mass market, it's like $24. I mean, I would pay, if this came out on Etsy, like a full tarot deck for $50, I would have done that in a second. Because I always, like, if I love an artist, I'll usually do the indie price to get the most amount of, like, art from them, which is maybe silly, but I kind of use tarot as, like, my art collection, too. Like, I don't usually buy original art from people. I support some artists on Patreon and get some art from them that way, but this is really, like, my art collection is my tarot collection, too. I really like these together. I thought they would go well together, but this is the first time I'm showing them. So this is OldWays Magic Oracle by Naomi Cornock. This is, I got this directly from them. They're in the UK too. So it was a really affordable deck, but the shipping, if I'm remembering correctly, I've had this one for a long time, is pretty expensive if I remember correctly. But holy crap. I mean, obviously, if you had Olivia Rose's Oracle, the Heart's Eye, I think it's called, Oracle, would look beautiful with this. But I love these together. They're so pretty. Yeah, this one's really, this deck is really special. I have a lot of chronic illness and a lot of chronic pain. And this is very much a healing deck for me. But I am just so in love with Olivia Rose's artwork. Go to her Etsy page, like whether you get this deck or not, like she has prints and just like artwork for sale. She's really talented and just really has a beautiful aesthetic that I like so much. But these are great together. Again, I think I showed the like mushroom tarot that I got not too long ago. I'm as much as I talk about like I don't want winter to start, I have been on like a black background deck kick. It's like almost the only thing I've bought, with the exception of Playful Heart. It's like all these like super dark decks. So maybe my like subconscious is just trying to prepare me. I really like these together a lot. Okay. Yeah, this one has very much, it's a lot of animals and stuff, but it's a lot of fae energy too, which is certainly a big part of Olivia Rose's artwork. But yeah, this deck is stunning. It reads super well. I haven't used it with OldWays Magic Oracle yet, but I've used it with, what did I use this with? I think I used this with the Mantra Oracle deck. That's a relatively new purchase, and it worked really well with that one. The backs are beautiful. I mean, I just love, this woman's artwork is my jam. So is Naomi Cook's. Cornock, sorry. But she doesn't, I don't think they have a lot more. I think this is their only deck. I could be wrong. I know they're an artist, so they definitely have like prints and stuff on their website, but I mean, even like this is so precious. It's a tuck box, which I'm destroying slowly, but has this like little detail right inside the tuck flap. I don't know. These two are like magical little decks, so. There's lots of walkthroughs already. I was like so proud of myself because I was like, I haven't seen this anywhere on TarotTube. I got this probably I got it like days after it was released. I didn't pre-order it. I just happened to find it right after it was released. And so I was like, I think I'm the only one that knows about this. And of course now TarotTube is just like blowing up with this deck, which is great. More power to her. I want it to be successful. So there's like a bajillion walkthroughs. I was gonna do a walkthrough when I thought no one knew about this yet, but I'm like being sarcastic. Like there are so many tarot people that are way more in the know about things than I am. So it's a beautiful deck, beautifully done. It looks like really simple imagery when you're first looking at it. Like maybe it doesn't give you a whole ton of information. I mean, a lot of them strongly reference the traditional RWS imagery, but a lot of them are different. And at first I was like, ooh, I might struggle. There's another deck that reminds me of that does that a lot. It's the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. And I am like on the record already in one of my videos saying that like people were crazy cuckoo for that deck and I didn't quite get it. It's like, of all my decks, it's probably the one that's the closest to potentially being decluttered, just because I don't get enough info from it. I don't know. From the images. It's beautiful. I love the way it looks, but it's just like not super informative. And I just don't connect super well with it. And I have tried. I'm going to give it another try for sure. Why was I bringing that up? Oh, and so I was like worried for a hot second that MindsEye was going to be like that, but no, there's a ton of information that the cards give you and the imagery gives you. Kind of in the same vein as what I was saying yesterday, these little like baby rock pool decks, they're like $12 depending on which one you get. They're so good. And they're also one of my easy go-to, just like this one. I don't love the words on the back, but I do really like the artwork. So I usually just kind of ignore the words on the back because I read this in a review, I think on Amazon, but there's several in here that are like, that is not like a Frida quote. They're definitely not quotes. They're just like little musings from him, the guy that did this. So I really like the artwork. It's his artwork, not hers. But yeah, some of the like little sayings on the back are good. Let's see if I can find one. But some of them are just like really bad. Remain present. I don't know. This one maybe, because she did have to endure so much crazy crap, but I don't know. They're just a little too cheeseball for me. So anyway, I'll read them, but I'll be like, I'll ignore them pretty quickly. So that one's more just because like I haven't found an awesome Frida deck that I love yet. There's one out there, but the artwork's just a little too far from Frida's artwork for me to love it. So anyway, the Druid Wisdom deck, this is one. I just have a number of decks that are hard. Same thing with like the Zombie Tarot where I'm like, what do I pair with this? And the Druid Wisdom deck goes really well with all the Celtic decks. So I use it with like my Wildwood and with, it's really good with like Forest of Enchantment. Am I saying that right? Forest of Enchantment? No, Into the Forest? No. Oh god, I can't remember. The one with like the trolls and the fairies and the wood, and it's got a white stag. Okay, I can't remember, but you know that one. It also works really well. I have the like the Druid Animal and the Druid Plant Oracle, and I have an Ogham Oracle, so it works beautifully with those naturally. But what I was realizing the other day is I have like the Dulac and the Bauer, and this is the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg. And like the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg, this would probably go with that French medieval oracle that I was talking about the other day. But this one in particular goes really well with like the Dulac too, I thought. Even though it's like photography, and it kind of surprised me. But I feel like it works pretty well. Ooh. This is like one, there aren't very many with like buildings. That one's kind of a weird one. I've never pulled that one before. But yeah, it like kind of works. So I'm going to go with that because I do really like reading with the Dulac. And I don't really have a great oracle to pair with it. If anyone does have a good Dulac oracle, please tell me, because I'm kind of like pulling up short. This one, I also have this crazy oracle that, oh, I'm not doing a great job. Some of these go both ways. Okay, I'm all over the place right now. I'm going to finish all these thoughts, I swear. Okay, so the back of these, as opposed to the Frida one, I like a lot. So it usually has some sort of Celtic symbol or not design. And then it has a little saying that either refers to like herbs, or it was just like a sweet little poetic saying. And then it often underneath will have like almost like a little charm or a little spell or something that you can do. So it's not, I mean, the pictures I find beautiful, but for the most part, there's a couple that aren't the prettiest, but the back just is like chock full of information. It like has keyword, it has a little poem or a little saying or a little bit of lore, and then it has like place pink opal by the bed for peace and calm. I don't know, the backs were just really cool. There are several of these. I know people like, there's like a woods one and a flower one. There's some that have the same image on the front, and people really like the like words on the back of those, but I'm just so, I think I'm just like, I don't know if it's my ADHD or my artistic side where like I just really felt like I couldn't tolerate that for some reason. It's like I want things to look different. So I have a collection where like I really like what's on the back and the different pictures on the front. This chakra I love. This is another one of those that just like goes with everything. Well, that's a lie. It totally does not go with Dulac or the Tarot of St. Petersburg. But this has like these watercolors, I'm guessing, or some art form. So it's all different crystals, pictures, paintings, artwork of crystals. And then it has the chakra on the back, the crystal that's depicted in case you can't figure it out, because some of them don't exactly look like the crystal. And then, yeah, a keyword and a little saying too. So this one's great. It goes with a lot of colorful decks. Like this would go really well with Playful Heart. It would go well with the Zilich Tarot. Lots of different things. And yeah, the Druid Wisdom goes really well with a lot of darker or more serious decks. The other thought I never finished is, I was going to say this crazy oracle, Russian oracle. So it has the like, oh, I'm not covering it up properly. It has the derogatory word that's used in a lot of these older oracles, unfortunately. But these are Russian fortune-telling cards that I got, and I'll do these in a different video. I did a video about it, but I never published it. So I'll talk about these in another video, but I got these with the Tarot of St. Petersburg, so those go well together. But it's like a whole crazy system where you basically lay out this quilt of cards. So it's not really one. I thought I was going to use it with the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg, but that's not really how those work. So I was still kind of looking for an oracle that I could use with this guy. So yeah, I have one more of these little, oh, I don't have the Fae. That's like top on my list of something that I'll get before too long. That one's really good too. People like that a lot. But I also have the Avalon one of these, and it's almost like that one's almost like some of my inner child stuff too. But it goes really well with some of the Celtic decks as well. So yeah, I was just like, oh, you know, I always have these as like a quick grab when I'm just like, I need a quick keyword, something's not connecting about the reading or whatever. And so I'll often, like I have the Sovereign Oracle, I have the little mini oracles right here at my desk that I can just grab if I need a little bit more info. So that's exciting. Okay, this is, I've shown this deck, it's been a while, but this is, sorry, very intense language on this one, but if you know Banksy, he is one of my favorite artists. My Instagram picture or whatever is next to one of his images that when I was visiting New Orleans that I like stumbled across. I didn't even realize it was there, and I was so excited and dorky about it. This is a beautiful tarot deck. It's the Banksy, the Tarot Banksy. I found it on Etsy. It is not in print currently. I think this is the second edition. I got this a while ago. This was like, I bought it the second I saw it. Didn't even think twice about it. I had no idea it existed. And I just happened to find it on someone's YouTube channel. Begin, this is another indie oracle deck that's on Etsy. It is great. It's like a collage. It kind of reminds me, it's more of the collage of like the Uncommon Tarot, where it feels more, I don't know how to describe it. It's not quite as collage feeling as some of the collage decks. The crazy thing about this Begin oracle deck is like, look at the guidebook. It's not even gonna fit on my screen. It's basically just a giant, like 8.5 by 11 workbook. The pages aren't numbered, but there's a lot of pages in here. So it has like readings, like huge print. Oh my god, if you need, like, if you're farsighted, this is the guidebook for you. It's so huge. It's a great handbook. It's just like, oh my god, where do I put it? I mean, I found a place to put it on my desk. Whew. I cannot talk today. This, by the way, was the little book of tarot spreads. She, Hand Me That Pencil, is on Etsy. I think, yeah. I have one of her decks. I don't think I've shown it before. I will at some point, but they have some really good resources on like downloadable resources. I'm sorry. I should have like taken medicine or something. Okay. This one is hard to pair. Like, Banksy has a very unique point of view. It is really well done. It is like an amazing tarot deck. They did a great job with it, the creators. And I mean, does Banksy sanction anything? I have no idea. Shiloh Lewis and Lorien Music, 2018. So it's been around a hot second. And this is like a weird pairing. It's like, does it work? But I have done readings with these. This is not a new one. This is just one I haven't shown. And I kind of like rediscovered when I was going through all my decks that I'm going to bring out together again. But there's something about this like collage style. I mean, I could probably use like Runners of the Sun with Banksy. I'm trying to think of others collage oracles I have that it would probably work well. But there's just something about this Begin Oracle that visually worked really well for me for some reason. The Banksy deck. And there's some, you know, like this one that are more new agey that I feel like Banksy would probably hate. That still feel like they work well. I don't know. So yeah, this is not like, I think Banksy would love this combination. That's definitely not true. But it works for me, so. And it's a very, even though some of the images in this deck are kind of like, yeah, just like crystals and stuff. You know, but then she like totally like goes with like borderline ugly, which sometimes I really like borderline ugly stuff. That are more edgy for the deck, and I think is cool. Are cool. But yeah, there's something about it that just like works. I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but I love these two. And oh, I was gonna say her guidebook is really down to earth, and it's really good. Like it's really provocative and really good for self, you know, doing deep kind of shadow work stuff. Which Banksy is definitely like a shadow work kind of artist. And even though a lot of his artwork is really intense and some of these feel really dark, the deck does not read that way. I haven't found it like hard to read with. It's not something I have to be in a certain mood for. And yeah, that might have a little bit to do with how much I love his work. And so it just kind of doesn't, I'm used to his work being really confronting. And so it doesn't bother me. But yes, I think the way, and there's just this like really tiny, it's not really even a little white book. It's just kind of like a fold out. But they've done a good job kind of writing stuff in that's really down to earth, but also doesn't make, it definitely doesn't make the cards harder by any means. The only thing that's tricky with me, for me with this one, is they have changed what the suits mean, and I cannot for the life of me remember it ever. So I always have to pull this thing out and remember. So they have, let's see if I can even do it. The major arcana, I think, are all the same. Yes, they are. They don't mess with the major arcana at all. But buckets, like to me, that's cups, right? Okay, so they do cups. Okay, so that one makes sense. Spray cans is swords. That one is harder for me. I need to like come up with something in my head that puts those together. And then brushes is probably pentacles. Now all of a sudden, see, and then like here, did you put what brushes are? I feel like they didn't. So maybe brushes is this, and then stencils, pentacles. Oh, see, so stencils are pentacles, so brushes are wands. Anyway, I haven't been able to make it stick. I'm trying. So I can read intuitively with them, and if I sat there and like chewed on it for a second, but if something doesn't click with the imagery, then I have to open that and be like, what the heck is stencils? Because it's easy for me to assume the wrong thing. The other thing I love about Banksy is like, God, he's so like, clearly he's so revolutionary and like total Uranus. We will never know Banksy's birth chart, but there's got to be some crazy Uranus placement there. So yeah, he is very just like against the grain, but then he's also like so endearing and so wonderful. Like the lovers, like this is his artwork, and what a great choice for the lovers card, but like what an adorable thing. So there's plenty of heartwarming stuff in his work too. It's not all painful. And then, like, he goes right back to painful. Yeah. But a lot of affirming stuff. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. Anyway, great. I love that tarot deck. And that's another one that's coming out soon for fall because I want to work with it a lot more than I have. It is one of my few decks that feels a little precious to me. Like, I'm so afraid of damaging it. So that probably keeps me... I'm using it already as much as I really want to. I should take it out of the tuck box. That always helps me not feel like I'm screwing up a deck as much. But yeah, that Begin Oracle. This one's kind of expensive. I want to say it's towards 60 bucks, but it has 72 cards. Like, it's one of the biggest oracles. Maybe this is a 3-part series. So I've said it before. This is one of my favorite decks of all time. MaryEl. This is the 2nd edition. This is one of my first. Trying to remember. Yeah, this is up there with one of my first. When I started collecting tarot, which hasn't been that long now. One of my first alternate tarot decks after the Rider-Waite-Smith. My very first tarot, if you haven't watched any of my videos, was the Mother Peace tarot deck, which is kind of interesting story behind it. And that was my only tarot deck. I didn't have any oracle decks. I just had Mother Peace for like 15 years. And I barely knew, I mean, I knew Rider-Waite-Smith obviously existed, but I didn't get it until like 5 or 6 years ago. And then started kind of collecting things. And I actually got an oracle deck before I got the Rider-Waite-Smith, and then finally got the Rider-Waite-Smith. So MaryEl, I love, love, love. And I am really, I can't imagine, like, I'm going to be really annoying about and picky about the oracle deck that I would put with this. And I haven't found one. And I've worked with it for a bit now. But these cards by Susan Sedon-Boulay are kind of like knowledge. I mean, she calls them knowledge. Whoever made this calls them knowledge cards. She just has like beautiful artwork. I really love her artwork a lot. I'm not sure, the Animal Spirits one might not work, but as I was organizing, I was like, oh my gosh, I think these might work together. I haven't put them together side by side, so this is kind of first round. Sorry, I don't normally read this with reversals. Did I start and I forgot? So the Goddess cards, this is by Mary White. Is that, am I like having a total brain fart? Is Mary White her name? I believe, but MaryEl, I mean, it's super well-known deck. So these knowledge cards have no guidebook, just the goddess or the animal on the back, and then have keywords or just like a story of the goddess. And I really like that sometimes. I really like not having to use a guidebook sometimes if I'm like overwhelmed. And especially when it comes to the MaryEl, holy smokes, I love her guidebook so much, but it's intense. It's like deep and like murky. Ooh, I do like these together. And it's a lot to like chew on. So to use this with an oracle where I don't have to pull out an oracle deck too is a huge bonus. So 2 of discs with Hathor. So yeah, visually I like these a lot. I don't know all these goddesses well enough to like off the cuff right now be like, yes, this goddess is the perfect mix for the Chariot. White Shawl Woman. So so yeah, Navajo. So yeah, I don't know these goddesses well enough to know for sure that they work well together, but visually I find these beautiful. And that's like one of the things is like MaryEl is such, I get so much from the visual element of this deck that if something doesn't jive visually with the tarot, I feel like I couldn't stand using it. So yeah, I think these are going to work nicely. I need to see what if the animals, because this one's kind of not super typical for her artwork. That one feels different to me than most of her artwork, but yeah, these are pretty. I think these might work nicely together. I mean, the MaryEl does have plenty of animals in the deck, but some of those kind of read funny at first. Yeah, I think these might work. I like it. I can at least give it a go and not be annoyed. And yeah, this deck just feel, the Boulay cards just feel, I mean, you know, it's really working with archetypal energy. And so that feels like a really, like, it's just a more serious deck. Not that the deck has to be, I mean, MaryEl is just a serious deck. It's like serious, like, soul work for me. So yeah, I couldn't have like a lighthearted oracle deck to go with it. So I think those are pretty beautiful together. I'm excited. Yeah, this is another like shadow work of winter deck. I have her, the reason that her guidebook's on my desk here somewhere, but I don't have the box because I have this super weird bag I made for it out of like Southwest fabric, vintage fabric I found at the thrift store. Because I was like, I don't even know what fabric would go with MaryEl, so I love this fabric. I love this deck. I'm just putting them together. Okay, I'm getting so off the subject. This is one, actually, I'm mostly showing like new pairs that I'm excited about, but I just want to show this one briefly. This is the Medieval Scapini deck. And I use this in the spring a lot because I had just gotten the Magical Botanical Oracle by Christopher Pinzak and Maxine Miller. These work really beautifully together. And this is probably one because it has some more fall vibes that I will bring out in the fall. I really like these together a lot. I really like the Medieval Scapini deck. Kind of kicks my butt a little bit. But this one does too, honestly. This is a pretty serious deck also. But I just wanted to show this briefly. That's like a tried and true pairing favorite. I've already showed my like Runners of the Sun and Mountain Dream Tarot, which that was like a total steal from Jonaki at Catamancy Tarot, 100%. My the one I found myself that I really love is the Pasta Tarot with Animal Apothecary. Those are great together. What are some of my other like tried and true, used it forever? Oh, I showed it in my last video, I think. The Nicoletta Ciccoli with the super weird Colette Baron Reed Oracle. Wisdom. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. It's long. Wisdom Tarot. Wisdom Oracle. Those are all my like, been using them for a long time together. I use Kim Cran's archetype. That was like the second, the Colette Baron Reed was the first oracle I got, and then Kim Cran's was the second. And I use that one with everything. Usually that's one of the ones I don't care what it looks like with anything. I just use it when I need it. So anyway, that was just like, oh, these are the beautiful backs. I love those two together, and with fall coming, they were kind of pushed into the back of my cabinet a little bit. So I was like, you're coming back out. You guys work great together. And I'm in like herb preserving mode right now. I will do a garden tour very soon, but I have a really extensive herbal collection. I grow a lot of herbs that I'm just not making any sense. So that's kind of on my mind a lot right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm starting to flag a little. So I am just going to mention a few things. And I might barely flip through them at all. But things I was just excited about. So Mother Peace. Gosh, I have so many indies all of a sudden. I didn't used to have hardly any indie decks. Mother Peace is a beautiful... Mother Peace. Oh my lord. Mother Tarot. Mother Peace was my first tarot deck, sorry. Mother Tarot is this beautiful square deck. I love it. It's super lovely and super summery and springy. So this was one that I was like, why have I not been using this summer? It's so light-filled and colorful. I need to use it before fall comes. So this is one I was like, I need a good oracle pair, which Reclaim Oracle, you know, is a little brutal sometimes, but I feel like I can take it. Yeah, I do like those together. Oops, Reclaim is kind of dark. She, the creator of the Mother Oracle, McMurdo Brignac, I don't know how she pronounces her name. She has Dark Days, I think it's called, Oracle, which is black and white Oracle. It's also really beautiful. It was gonna be, honestly, I wasn't intending to buy this one. I wanted the dark one, the Dark Days. And then I just like switched all of a sudden. I really like her colors in this deck. I like I really like her color palettes. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use these together because Reclaim has been kind of put away for a hot second since last winter. Because I was like, oh, I've had my butt kicked enough. I think I can put this one away for a second. But because I want to use the Mother Oracle before summer goes away, I'm going to put those guys together. Mother Oracle is so beautiful. It's so colorful. Yeah, it's really gender non-conforming in a lot of ways, even though it's the Mother Oracle. That it's got a lot of just like really beautiful, yeah, strong imagery and messaging in the deck. And it's also just a very ecological deck. It's all about taking care of the earth and getting our shit together, humans. Getting a reality check and starting to do the work to turn things around as much as possible, if possible. So anyway, that deck is coming out for sure with Reclaim. Side note, I mentioned this a long time ago, but do not shuffle this deck riffle style. I don't know what I was thinking, but I riffled it and damaged one of the cards like the day I got it, and I didn't cry, but I almost cried. Some other just like fun, let's see. Oh yeah, this is one I knew the second I got Iris. Again, more indie decks. All right, see, this is where I'm like, I went too far. I got Iris with the intention of using it with Pholarcos. I already talked about this in video, so I'm just gonna do like super fast, but it seems like a really bizarre pairing, and like, if you think I'm insane, I wouldn't disagree with you. But Pholarcos, the Major Arcana, are these like really gorgeous oil paintings. She also does them for the oh my god, court cards. But all of the minors besides the court cards are these like sketchbook almost things that are really kind of rough, feel like right out of a sketchbook. And so I was like, I feel like this is gonna go well with Iris, and they do. They do go really well together. It visually might seem like, what the heck are you talking about? But I mean, I think you can kind of get it. And I mean, the Iris Oracle was really criticized for her, I think, aesthetic of it being this like kind of kid feeling art. But like, I feel it's not kid feeling to me. It's just really raw. It doesn't feel like kid stuff to me. And maybe that's because I've really stripped down like the barriers of like what real art is, and to me it's about the emotion and about like I can find beauty. Like, I mean, I find kid art amazing. Kids are so honest and creative and without boundaries. So I love this combination, and they are really powerful together. Really powerful. I mean, Iris is another kick your butt oracle deck for sure. Pholarcos from Arnell's Art. They are wonderful, wonderful people. They're so sweet. And I have a whole video about like why I got Pholarcos was because of Valley Myers, which if you don't know about Valley Myers, like super cool woman. So I was also, this is another one I haven't really used that much, which makes me sad. I like re-listened to the audiobook, Alice in Wonder, or which one? The first Alice book. And I was like, I'm gonna use the Alice deck, and then I still haven't. And it's also kind of that like happy summer, lots going on. I feel like it'll work in the winter too. But I was like, these also might work well together because they have that really childish, I mean, her arts, I wouldn't call it childish. It's more punk almost, but yeah, that like childish punk, like combo vibe. Is that possible? I feel like these might work well together. Okay, so this was like my crazy experiment where I'm like, okay, is Iris gonna work well with Alice? But I was also like, Morgan's Tarot has this like kind of intense, different, quirky vibe that might work well with Alice. Yeah, like that really illustrative, fun vibe to it. I feel like these might be cool, but Morgan's is so weird. Yeah, I would use them for different ways. Like Iris is like, I want to get my butt handed to me, but like I want to look at cool Alice cards at the same time. Whereas Morgan's would be like, I'm in a weird mood. I want a crazy message without having to take drugs. So yeah, I feel like those would go well together. And then same thing, Alice, I was surprised how hard this is to like find something that I liked with it. There's this weird white hair oracle that obviously is about rabbits, or it's about, you know, hares. And I was like, oh, I feel like this would go with Alice. And it kind of does too. I have used those together. Oh, sorry. So Apparition is another. I love this tarot. I love the aesthetic. I love the meanings on the cards. But, you know, it's just kind of another kind of quirky tarot deck that's like, what do you pair it with? So obviously these are the same creator, so like it generally works pretty well. Oops, those are the backs. Did I say that? Spirit speak? I'm sorry if I didn't. So I feel like I'm saying everything I'm trying to say, but it's definitely disorganized. Okay, Apparition and Iris are from Spirit Speak. Reclaim, if I didn't say that, I'm just like going way back. Pholarcos, Carmen Sorrenti, Arnell's art. Reclaim Oracle is by, I'm having a brain fart, Marian, Costentin. I'm saying that wrong, but what's her business name? Oh, I'm having a brain fart. It's something. She does the, Little Darkness. That's what I was trying to remember. She does the, Lillifer Tarot, which is also on my list of someday, hopefully, before it goes out of print. Okay, sorry. I'm like all messy. And then Mermaid, or Jesus Christ, Queen Alice Tarot. It's by Dame Darcy, who also does Mermaid Tarot. Ah! Okay, so these are the same. And then Morgan's Tarot is old school mass market, been around for a long time. So I like these together. Yes, I could use either one. And kind of same thing of what I just said about the Dame Darcy Tarot. Like I would use one for one purpose, one for another. But yeah, like it. I like it. So that's all possible, and I feel like that'll be cool. Sorry, I'm trying to speed up because I know I'm being so ridiculous, and I feel like I need to go like sit outside and be quiet. Oh man, I'm getting comfortable with you guys, which might not be a good thing. Okay, last one. I promise it really is the last one this time. Is a relatively new deck for me. Is the Marguerite Peterson. I talked about this on my surprising decks video because it was one that was just like being raved about, and I was just like, what is the deal? I was so emphatically anti this tarot deck, and then I randomly got it. I didn't even like have a conscious thought. I said that already. It was on like mega sale. So I was like, I just have to understand what's going on. I really thought I was gonna like regift it right away. So I was like, no way am I gonna love it. And I love it. I love it so much. So I think it would go well with soul cards. I forgot to bring that out, but I did kind of put soul cards next to it. As another option, but I haven't put them side by side together. I did this with something else too. I can't remember what it was, and I really liked it, but this is the one that kind of came to me the other day. So this is the Alana Fairchild Rumi Oracle. I don't love like a ton of Alana Fairchild decks, but this one I like a lot, and I think the Rumi like is what I love. Rumi. Rumi's just incredible. And this artwork I think is by Rasuli. Is that right? Which I love also. I have trimmed the heck out of it. I can't even remember what color borders that are around it, but they were really awful. I want to say it was like a marbled border or something. It was really bad. But yeah, I like these together. And honestly, the guidebook that Alana wrote, it's not bad. There's this one thing where you like pray to Rumi, and I don't like that. That part of it where you like say a prayer to Rumi. That just feels really weird. But everything else in her guidebook I do like, but if you know her decks, she like writes like 4 pages of tiny print per card, so it's a lot. So probably if I was using these, just because I love Marguerite, I like Alana's guidebook for this too, but it's definitely a mood, and it's definitely like a commitment. Marguerite Peterson's guidebook is the most genius guidebook I've ever read. Maybe with the exception, like Zillich is really good in terms of like short and sweet, genius in its brevity. It's like top 3 easily of genius and brief guidebooks. So I would probably just use this one for the keyword and nothing else, and like intuitive hits or whatever, and only use, like, even though I can read these and of course know the meanings by heart, I just love pulling out Marguerite Peterson's Little White Book and just reading it anyway. I just think I would read it even if I knew what the card meant. So yeah, I like these together. I mean, it's definitely that more abstract style. I don't have any Siliconway decks. Those are, I mean, my like someday list is so embarrassingly long. And anytime I like finally get up the self-discipline to like knock a few decks off my someday list, I like put them back on 2 months later. Anyway, Siliconway's on my someday list. I love her artwork. But yeah, these kind of remind me of her artwork. So anyway, super excited by that because I like prove to myself that I will never know anything for sure, because as much as I was like, I will never get Marguerite Peterson, I don't understand it, I don't understand what all the hype is, it's like one of my favorite decks now. I love it so much. It's such a different thing in person. The guidebook's genius, the artwork's amazing. This is one, like, it's weird, I even like the borders on this. Like, I normally chop my borders off, but I don't feel like I would ever do that with this deck. I like the backs. I mean, it's like, sort of feels like cheap cardstock, but I like it. I don't know. So yeah, that's my like excited, because I really do like these cards a lot, and I used to, before I had Oracle decks, there's a few books that I would do like bibliomancy with, and Rumi was one, The Prophet was another, which I have a Prophet Oracle now, by Khalil Gibran, and then, what was my other one? Oh, I have a Neruda, like a Pablo Neruda poetry book. And I would do bibliomancy with those. I mean, there's others. I had like some goddess books that I would do that with too. But so yeah, it feels like I'm kind of like doing that again. I've been wanting to bring this deck out more. And I certainly will. I'm excited to use this one a lot more. I did it! I am sorry if that was annoying. I hope it was somewhat entertaining. I hope you got some good ideas. And if you have any ideas to share with me, like, yeah, things you pair with any of these that I maybe am not thinking about, please share. That would be really exciting to see some of your favorite, or hear about some of your favorite pairs. I mean, it could totally be a tag. Is there like a pair tag? Like favorite pairs? There should be. Maybe I'll start one, even though I kind of said I would never start a tag. Not because, I mean, I love them, obviously. I just feel like I can't handle the work of managing them for, like, other people, or, like, responding to other people's, you know? I feel like I would suck at doing that, especially after seeing, like, how wonderful some of the people are with these tags, how they, like, watch every video and comment on it. Holy smokes. Thank you for being here. If you even watched 5 minutes, I appreciate you. And, yeah, I'm going to put out some more stuff soon. I finally got great editing software, so I'm going to start doing my art content and my garden content this week, or next week. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you saw some cool decks. And if you have any questions, sometimes I like out for 2 weeks, and I won't answer any comments, and then I'll like do them all at once. So it might take me a second to get back to you, but I'm happy to answer questions and stuff. I probably won't link these decks just because I do timestamps, because I feel like that's important, especially how much I talk. But I'm not really good at the linkage time bit yet. I have a lot of crazy stuff going on right now, and so I'm really limited on how much time I can put into the extra stuff besides just filming these. So, but I'll try to answer questions about anything that I didn't mention in here, so you can find it too. Thank you. I hope you are enjoying the fall or the spring, depending on which hemisphere you live in. I hope that if you're like me and are not super excited about the next season coming up, that you get a few lovely last few days of whatever current season you're in. And I hope, like me, this like practice inspires you a little bit to reconnect with tarot and really pull out and make sure we're using the things we've invested in, and enjoying them, because what's the point of having this stuff anyway if you don't love it and it's not making you happy, even if you feel guilty sometimes like me. All right. Much love to you, wishing you all sorts of good things. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe if you don't mind too much. I am working on this content quite a bit and hoping to grow and have it be a part of my like new passion push in life, to make a go of the side of myself that I never thought could be a professional side of myself. So much love. Take care. Talk to you soon.